Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to pick number 9 of my favorite 30 guitar players of all time. That's right. We've been counting down each and every day here this month of September in 2024. Our 30 favorite guitar players across all genres, our absolute favorites. Not an easy thing to do. I keep looking at my list of folks who didn't make the cut, and I'm kind of like, oh, I feel so bad that I couldn't squeeze them all in, right? But you can't squeeze everybody in. You can only pick 30 out of hundreds, right? It's crazy, thousands even. So today, for pick number 9, this is a guy I've been into for a long, long time. His playing especially on a few albums, means a hell of a lot to me and has for a long time. Let me bring to the stage my pick for today. He's still going strong. None other than Uli Jon Roth, solo artist, formerly of the Scorpions as well. Groundbreaking player who I think doesn't get enough credit for just how amazing his guitar skills are, have always been, really. I mean, unfortunately, he was part of a band, a German heavy metal band, hard rock band, the Scorpions, who, when he was in the band, they, not all that popular, still kind of an obscure act outside of like Europe. And it wasn't until after he left the band that the Scorpions would come to prominence internationally and become a huge band for quite a number of years. And granted, the music of the band changed quite a bit after Uli left and became much more accessible and commercial sounding, as opposed to the stuff that they did while he was in the band. But going back on it all these years later, and even at the time, I remember just thinking those early Scorpions albums with Uli were just so cool sounding and so different, unlike any other band out there, right? Kind of rocky, psychedelic, heavy rock, metal, bluesy, neoclassical, just all this weird stuff kind of coming together, right? But just a really unique sound. And Uli's playing heavily influenced by Jimi Hendrix, but he also incorporated that kind of neoclassical element. So a lot of what Uli was doing back then, kind of way ahead of his time, right? He kind of took all the teaching somewhat from his hero Jimi Hendrix and incorporated all these little psychedelic and classical elements to his playing. So he was doing kind of some of that neoclassical shredding way before guys like Malmsteen and Vinnie Moore and Tony McAlpine and whatnot. And maybe on the jazz side, you had guys like Al Di Meola doing the same thing. So Uli, very amazing player. Early on, he plays the sky guitar now, obviously, has for many years, but early on, a full-on Strat guy. And just amazing dexterity and very good, just kind of like Hendrix, at controlling feedback and using that whammy bar. Man, he was great using the tremolo bar on his Stratocaster guitar. So, and as far as like picking out 3 favorite albums, I mean, this one was kind of a no-brainer, I think. Let's go. First of all, we're going to see if I can get the cover images here. So we're going to go with In Trance from the Scorpions. First and foremost, you can't not pick In Trance. And I'm gonna cover up the just to have the original album cover here, and then I'm gonna go with Virgin Killer as well. So, and from these albums, you've got no shortage of great songs. You got, of course, on In Trance, you have the amazing Dark Lady, and Uli always wrote like a number of songs per album that he appeared on. His first album, of course, was Fly to the Rainbow. And usually speaking, when he wrote a song for the band, he would also sing it as well. Not the world's greatest vocalist, right? But still, the guitar playing is great. Dark Lady is just tremendous. You got the title track In Trance, just so good. Life's Like a River, top of the bill. Living and Dying, the classic Robot Man. There's an early metal classic right there. The Haunting Evening Wind, Sun in My Hand, Longing for Fire and Night Lights. A lot of weird kind of Hendrixy stuff going on in a lot of these songs, and the big metallic riffing, from him and Rudolph. And then Virgin Killer. Virgin Killer is probably my favorite out of all these. I mean, it's the amazing Pictured Life. You got Catch Your Train, In Your Park, the great Backstage Queen. Title track is so good. Hellcat, so good. Crying Days, Yellow Raven, all sorts of cool guitar artistry going on that album as well. And then I'm going to go with Taken by Force, which is the last studio album he would appear on with the Scorpions. The bruising steam rock Fever to catch it all off, to start it all off. We'll Burn the Sky, I've Got to Be Free, The Ride of Your Time, and perhaps his signature song, The Sails of Sharon. So good. Your Light, He's a Woman, She's a Man, Born to Touch Your Feelings, Suspend Her Love. Just really, really great stuff. Again, this kind of weird psychedelic, bluesy, heavy rock, proto metal type of thing kind of going on, and with that guitar just always stabbing through the mix in such a great way. An amazing player. As far as my favorite guitar solo, I mean, so much to choose from. I thought about possibly picking Sails of Charon, because the guitar solo in that is just absolutely tremendous, but I had to really go back and say, well, which is the solo that just has always just absolutely slayed me from Uli? And it's got to be Polar Nights from the Tokyo album, right? Something about this Tokyo Tapes album just to me is always it's one of the great live albums of all time and should be hailed as such. But man, his guitar playing in Polar Nights on here is just absolutely amazing. And that whole solo to take you out to the end of the song is just absolutely mind-blowing. And again, the way that he kind of harnesses feedback and distortion and then uses the whammy bar to take you to all sorts of weird places, right? Just kind of like what Hendrix used to do, right? Kind of like what Frank Marino has done. And, this is, pretty much pre what Eddie Van Halen did as well, but just so amazing. And just like I always kind of think of his guitar solo in that song, to me always reminded me of Machine Gun from the band The Gypsies from the Fillmore concert, right? That's the way that Hendrix just kind of takes you on this nightmarish journey through the horrors of the Vietnam War, right? Uli kind of does that on this song as well, but in a different way. Just really great, amazing. So yeah, Polar Nights from Tokyo Tapes is my favorite guitar solo. And then we've got In Trance, Virgin Killer, and Taken by Force are my favorite albums. And, he's got some really cool solo albums as well. He's got the Earthquake stuff that he did right after he left the Scorpions, which there's some great playing on that as well. So yeah, lots of good stuff. I wish we had more from Uli, right? He's another one of those guys where if you really look at his discography, there's not a shit ton of stuff, right? I wish there was more. But and I've had the pleasure of seeing him live a couple times, and just mind-blowing. He's better than ever. He's like one of those guys. He was amazing back then. He's even better now, and he just plays like so effortlessly. He's got that weird sky guitar, and there's all this cool stuff, and yeah, just so good. And a guy who could play really fast, but also play with feeling and had that bluesy kind of psychedelic Hendrixy touch as well. And just, yeah, so good. So yeah, let's bring back to the stage one more time before we check out here today, Mr. Uli Jon Roth, formerly of the Scorpions, solo artist, amazing player, one of the great German guitar players of all time, and one of my favorites. That's why he makes my list at number 9. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you think of Uli down in the comments below, as well as your pick for today. Pick number 9. We'll see you tomorrow for number 8. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube all together all the damn time. Please subscribe if you haven't already and click on that notification bell so you get alerted of all of our content as a post. And please do hit the like button before you leave. Also down below, we get the links to our Ko-Fi page for channel donations, our merch page, our Cameo page. We've also got the button to join for channel memberships. That's there as well. And we'll see you in just a little bit for ranking the albums, right? Got coming up Vanilla Fudge happening in just under an hour. So till then, I am Pete Pardo. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you soon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Bye-bye.